Welcome and welcome back, people. It's Kelly again. So today we're going to go through some Am I the A-hole Reddit stories. Just keeping it pushing with the video recording. Let's hop right in. The first one is, am I the a-hole for bringing my daughter to my own child-free wedding? So my husband, male 29, and I, female 27, just recently got married. We spent almost a year planning the perfect wedding, taking the right precautions, etc. One of our first rules that we decided was that it was a no-kid wedding. We wanted an environment where we wouldn't have to worry about children running around, getting into things, crying, etc. We made it very clear on our invitation that we didn't want anyone to bring children under 14. We did, however, decide that we wanted to bring our daughter, 11 months, and I wanted to hold her during the reception and photo taking, and then have a family friend drive her home and wait for the babysitter to get there before coming back. Before we settled on that friend, we asked a few people. One of the people we asked was my husband's close friend, Darren's wife, Jessica, fake names. She declined because she didn't want to drive, which worked out fine as we were able to find someone else. So, on the day of our wedding, after we told everyone several times about the no kids rule, she showed up with her 4-year-old. I was obviously taken aback, but I went to ask her about it. She told me that since I was bringing my kid, it was okay if she took hers. Honestly, I was furious. I tried to stay calm and tell her that this is a child-free wedding, and she can't let her kid run around. But if she took her kid home, she was welcome to come back. She started yelling at me about how since I had a kid, it wasn't fair that she couldn't have hers. Her son at this point was already climbing on things as she just let him run free. I told her that this was her last chance or she'd need to leave. She rolled her eyes, sat down in a chair, and just watched her son run wild. Eventually, her husband, Darren, convinced her to get her kid and leave, but it ruined the whole first part of my wedding. It's been a few weeks now, and I've been thinking, maybe I am in the wrong? I said no kids at my wedding, but brought my own. A lot of people in my life are also saying it was hypocritical at the least. So, am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. Okay? This was your wedding. You guys set the rules. You told everybody else no kids. You have a small child that you wanted to be there in the pictures, and then you're having someone else take them back and be babysitted for the rest of the reception. They were literally only going to be there for picture purposes. So, no, that doesn't mean that you can bring your child, Jessica. My goodness, the entitlement on some people. Ugh. And then to just take it a step further and just let the child, run all over the place, okay? Toddlers are like tiny little drunks. They will get into stuff no matter what you do. Now, I heard of a great idea of having having like a side to the reception where there's like a kids area or something like that, or maybe like if you're having an outside wedding, then have like a little like bouncy house or like a fenced in area that like the kids can just run wild and free in, so that and have someone watching the gates, watching everything, someone that you're paying to do that. But it just no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to eat food prepared with raw, unpasteurized milk at a dinner party? My coworker, A, invited me to a dinner party at her place over the weekend. This is a new job, so I was excited to make new friends. All was going well until we got to the food. She was clearly excited, telling us all about the new recipe she had tried and how it turned out great. She mentioned she used raw milk to cook it with. I asked her about it, and she confirmed it was unpasteurized milk because it had better texture. I said I didn't want to eat it because I'm not comfortable having unpasteurized milk. She said since it was cooked on the stove, it was safe, but I said, sorry, I'm just not comfortable with that. Dinner was awkward as I had only bread and water. I should point out that when I went home afterwards, I looked up raw milk and found out there was a recall in my state because of bird flu. I texted A when I got home, thanking her for the invite and apologizing for the awkward dinner. She never replied, but another coworker texted me saying I was very rude for not eating the food and I should have just had a small piece of it. Am I the a-hole? No, no, you are not the a-hole, okay? It is your choice what to put in your body. If you are uncomfortable with eating it, that is all that it had to be said, okay? Now, for the host to get weird about it, that's like, that's kind of rude. Like, if I were the host, I would have tried to offer them something else, anything else in my house so that, like, that I don't have one person at the dinner party that I'm hosting just, just sitting there eating bread and water. And for other people to say that she should have just had a small piece, would you react the same way if that person had had an allergy? One of my children has multiple food allergies. We can't take him everywhere. We can't let him eat everybody's cooking. Okay? So, it, it, would he be wrong for denying to eat something that, that he's allergic to? If you don't want to put it in your body, you don't have to. Simple as that. Simple as that. This, the host was rude. The friends are rude. I would start looking for another job, but that's just me. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my coworker my only early shift day? For context, I work 4 closing shifts and 1 early day, while my coworker works 4 early days and 1 late shift. She has tried to change my early days for a while, and I have tried to accommodate her schedule multiple times, as she has to rush home to care for her daughter while her husband works night shifts, and they have no family help for childcare. I told her already that I wasn't going to change my days anymore, as I have things to do as well, and I have a toddler myself. Recently, she came to me and said that she needed my early day. I thought she wanted to change my early day to a different one so she could get home on time, but she told me she wanted to work only early shifts, meaning that she wanted my early day and for me to have closing shifts Monday through Friday. I told her no, but then she explained that her husband's job asked him to work an extra day, and if he didn't, he was going to get fired. Essentially, if I didn't change my days, her husband will end up without a job, and she might have to rent her house to afford living if that happens. I have a kid myself and no family to help, so I had to resort to daycare. Am I in the wrong for saying no to accommodate her needs? No, you're not in the wrong for not accommodating to her needs. Okay? This is your shift and that's her shift. And I know that it's difficult that, like, that things are going on with her family and stuff like that, but you still have a responsibility to yourself and your family. Me and my boyfriend have wildly different schedules. And, we had to hire a babysitter, twice a week so that we could cover those gaps where I'm at work and he's at work. But, we still need someone to pick the little guy up from school, give him a bath, give him dinner and put him to bed. And, while we're both still at work. So, thankfully we have that option. But this is not your responsibility. And furthermore, I'm going to be honest. This is purely speculation on my part, but the whole, oh, my husband is going to lose his job if he doesn't work an extra day and stuff like that. This sounds like that she just may be making it up to make you feel even worse for not switching the days with her. And just piling it on so that you feel guilty, so that you can switch with her. I don't like this. It's not your responsibility. No other explanation needed. No is a full and complete sentence. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for joining me again today. I know this one's a little bit shorter, but I love our Reddit stories. I love getting into these Am I the A-hole stories. They're kind of actually my favorite. There are some other ones that I've been finding out. Now coming up next couple of days, I kind of went into like a little bit of a spooky dive. So there's going to be some spooky TikToks, some true scary stories from Reddit, where we're going to go into like a little spooky Christmas vibe. So I know spooky season is usually reserved for the end of October, the beginning of November, but I'm spooky all year round. Okay, I love a good scare. So thanks for joining me today. Like, comment, and subscribe. And again, my name is Kelly, and mwah!